Who am I speaking with?
I'm Gordon Borrell, CEO of Borrell Associates.
And?
Kevin Ryan, CMO Webvisible.
And this is the closest the two of you have ever been together, right?
Uncomfortably close.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel a little weird, actually.
But you were just on a panel about local, right?
Yes.
And what were some of the insights that came out of that panel?
Well, I think one of the main things was we talked a lot about churn and serving local advertisers. And Kevin really, I think, has spent a lot of time with local advertisers, understanding what's happening in the marketplace and offering some great insights.
So give me a great insight about dealing with them. Experientially, what have you learned?
Mitigating churn is a product of education and resources. And I think one of the things that you really have to focus on is setting an expectation level for the advertiser as they come into the fray.
So give me some real-world examples. How is churn happening and how are you mitigating it?
Well, I mean, we've built a pretty extensive learning center. We spend a tremendous amount of time training our internal sales folks.
But give me a hardcore, real example of this.
Like a hardcore example of using an ROI calculator to predict traffic and response for an advertiser. Genuinely hardcore, very expensive technology that we provide as a service.
Yeah, but so how is that mitigating churn, just having a calculator?
Because you're setting an expectation level for the advertiser as they're coming in. You're not setting it. One of the things that Gordon's research actually talks about pretty extensively is that a lot of advertisers have a very unrealistic expectation of what they're going to see, and that was one of the things that we actually talked a lot about on the panel.
So what were some of the expectations and what's the reality?
Well, I think expectations of advertisers are very high. Most of them are not. When you get down to the smaller local business that might have 10, 20, 30 employees at most, their expectations are that the $500 to $1,000 you're spending this month is going to send people in the door, and they want to see some evidence. They're not satisfied anymore just putting a newspaper ad in the paper or buying a radio commercial. So the type of things that Webvisible and other companies like it are doing are providing concrete proof and an ROI calculator. Look, if you spend $1,000 this month, this is what you got back from it. You got $2,000 or $3,000 back, and the advertisers need that. They don't have time to do that themselves. That's why it's so important that these companies are providing some type of ROI calculator and great evidence and proof that their dollars that they invest is actually working.
And sometimes it's as simple as well, it sounds simple, but it's not. We talked extensively about the advertiser wants to see their ad, right? You buy a newspaper ad, you can see it. It's right there. And the same in the yellow pages, but that's not the case when you're buying shared inventory in a search result or a percentage of inventory in search result. So we literally, in the best way we can, show them slicks of where the ads would appear and try to educate them about what a shared inventory system looks like. And I got to tell you, to a small business, just using shared inventory or percentage of inventory, particularly in a search result, is very, very difficult to understand.
Excellent. Hey guys, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thanks.